Stop right there.
All right,
Are you guys
fine.
drinking raw milk?
Now you'll see.
No, why?
No.
I don't know. I've been hearing weirdos drinking raw milk nowadays.
Look, I maybe.
Strange Sophie.
I think the squirrel has a problem.
Squirrel, are you drinking raw milk?
No, it's just very thin milkshake. Yeah, that's a very thin milkshake.
It's white food coloring.
So when is Sophie gonna start firing up one end?
Start what?
Sorry, squirrel vomit. What'd you say?
Well, that answers my question.
Okay.
Here, Sophie, I actually do have some healing spells.
I am healed.
All right. So, you guys want to hear about this neat thing I saw the other day?
Sure.
All right.
Depends.
So,
Depends. Are you about to talk about another burlesque show?
No.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. So, I went to an independent theater the other day, and they were doing a double horror feature hosted by the locals.
Oh right. You mentioned this in the other server.
Yeah. So, I saw 2 uncut horror films. The first one being called Gutter Balls, and the second one being called Brain Damage.
I've heard of the second one.
Yeah. If you've heard of Basket Case, it's the same guy. The same director, I mean. Fun fact, the actor from Basket Case actually does make a cameo.
Nope. Shit.
That caught me off guard the first time I saw it. I was like, wait, is that the guy from Basket Case? Got the basket and everything?
Oh, stop.
Anyway, Brain Damage I did...
Ignore me. I'm hitting like all the wrong buttons trying to do something.
Oh, as usual?
You accidentally started a game of Garlic Phone.
Yeah,
No one wants garlic phones.
Yeah, that was an accident. I'm actually trying to pull up fucking solitaire.
Well, we could play Bazak.
Yeah. Anyway, sure. I'll talk about Brain Damage in a little bit, but I want to get Gutter Balls out of the way because... Holy crap. God damn Jesus. Mother. Oop, hang on. Mother. I forget sometimes how screwed up 2000s media could be. Jesus. Ignore that cat. Okay, so anyway, Gutter Balls is like a late 2000s horror comedy from Canada, and this shit is fucked, my dude. I am just, like, this thing is bad. It's funny, mostly unintentionally funny, but it's so bad. Like, I'm just gonna say I hate the first act for very, very uncomfortable reasons. Let's just say it involves a bunch of dudes in a bowling pin.
Gross.
Yeah. It picks up after. The first death I saw in the movie, it was death plus the number 69. I think you can figure out what happened. I was laughing my ass off at that first death because of the 2 people. And you got one who died choking on, and the other literally drowning in...
Well then.
What? That's how they both died. And you got a big thwack at the end, like just... like the killer decides, I'm gonna smack that ass. Thwack. Yeah, the sound effect and everything. I laughed my ass off on that one.
So yeah, let's just ignore Karth, like basically being like, I'm on 1 HP. Please heal me.
No, you owe me $10.
No, we need to talk about 69 death. For
Um,
some reason.
Yeah, well, that's a lot more funny.
Eh.
Oh, right. I actually did give him a health kit
Yeah.
too.
Dude, no one is likable in that movie.
Man, that sucks when you're like for a horror film, I can get it because that way it's like, okay, now I want to see how they die because I don't care for these characters otherwise. But at the same time, like that always kind of sucks for me when you get a movie where nobody is likable.
Yeah, no one is likable in that movie. One guy is passable, and one woman is just kind of there. So, but dude, no one is really that likable in that movie, especially the pack of douchebags at the beginning. But they all die in good ways.
Yeah, there are very few movies there are very few movies that I've seen where you have pretty much everyone in the cast be unlikable pricks, but you're still invested. I think one of the few examples I can think of where pretty much the entire cast outside of like two of the main characters are completely unlikable, and yet I was still invested, and that was like the Knives Out.
Yeah. But don't worry, everyone.
Knives Out was fun.
But don't worry, all the douchebags get what they deserve in that movie, especially like the head honcho douchebag. He is like an asshole. He is like awful, skunk bomb ass, hateful, wanna punch him in the face, asshole. But he gets what he deserves when you see him get pretty much by a bowling pin.
Yeah,
I mean a lot of it.
For me, it's that can redeem a otherwise mediocre horror film.
Yeah. Also, he gets the broken end of a bowling pin shoved up his. Yeah. Well, he had it coming.
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I think something is wrong in the engine room. I'll be right back.
Ugh. Okay, so the worst one. Okay, this is a little hard to talk to me about the one of the deaths. Like, I will say it right now. This movie is not exactly LGBT friendly, but then again, it was 2008. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this one character who, what's the right word? I guess trans. I'll just say it. And her death. Oh god, her death was graphic. Let's just say she got a really nasty cut. The one you don't want to see.
That's a little sad.
Yeah, again,
although
it was 2008 and Canadian, so
yeah. Although now all I can think of is because I mentioned Knives Out, and now I'm just thinking of the scene from Glass Onion.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
yeah. There was one funny moment involving a ball waxing machine, bowling balls.
I know.
And it's bowling balls.
I'm gonna ask you not to elaborate too much, for sake of. Like, I know we're not monetized, but just so that we don't end up age restricting the video.
Well, I'm trying to keep this as vague as possible, so.
I know.
A lot of people want to go inside and
but the thing is, the bowling ball waxing machine had a personality, and it was basically all like,
between the Sith conquest and
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
It's not like you can do anything to go in and speak.
Like, this thing was mouthing off to it pretty bad.
It does make me curious. Like, I assume you're more into horror films than the rest of us, as far as I can tell. Like, what is
More or
the
less.
what is the worst horror film you've seen?
Calm down, Zerdra. Nobody's going to try anything
Worst
here in the
horror
middle of our
film
own
I've
base.
ever
It would be
seen.
a suicide mission.
You're too trusting, Gatton. Frederick and his Volkers want
I-
you dead. Anyone
I'd
we
have to
don't know is
think
a
about
potential
it. I
threat,
usually
and
don't.
it's my job
I mean, I
to
seek
make
out some
sure
pretty
you're safe.
bad ones,
You want
but
us to
I'd have
start
to really
attacking
think about
strangers
what
on
I would
sight,
consider the
Zerdra?
worst.
Like the Volkers do?
That's
I
fair.
will never let it come to that. Now step
I guess
aside.
one I could say is Black Xmas, the
You can speak to Gatton
2006
if you want,
remake.
but I've got my eye on you. You
Like,
try
it
anything
is
and you'll be
awful.
vaporized before you can say
It is
Volker's
just
spy.
Sometimes I forget that I got a remake.
Yeah, it's
You'll have to forgive
And
me.
probably for good
Since
reason,
Frederick and the Volkers
because
began
yeah.
their
people don't talk about
wars,
it.
She's been a little overzealous in her security duties.
yeah,
The problems with the Sith haven't helped things.
but
Zerdra seems to forget that I know
But,
how to
yeah,
handle
just-
myself. Now,
that stuff
How can
was
I
yeah. Just stick to the original. Don't
a
go
foreign army
for
invades
the
Terrace,
2018
declares martial
one.
law, and
That's
locks
pretty
down all
bad. That's
travel
just
to and
like
from the planet.
preachy
You
virtue
damn well
signaling.
bet I have a problem with that.
I'm
Even
so
the Sith
progressive
never moved in
nonsense.
down
And the
here. All the
2006,
swoop gangs would unite against them.
it's just shock for
Use hit and
shock.
run
I mean, you
guerrilla
got
tactics to pick them off.
eyeballs
Their
and
casualties would be
jaundice and
enormous.
Don't fool yourself.
I-
The Sith would never
Home,
commit to that
Alabama.
kind of operation.
Yeah,
They'd do
and
something
for me
much
it's
more
a
grand and
that
deadly.
that really
So
does
far,
suck
the Sith have
when
stayed out of
you
the
have
way.
horror film,
Our
especially if
strength
it's a
is wasted
franchise
on
you
this
like,
stupid gang war.
where
I tried
you
to
just get
explain
that
this to
one
Frederick,
film
but
in the
he and his
franchise
Volkers
that
won't
is
listen.
shock for
Yeah.
shock value.
No,
Because
I heard the Sith have been asking
I
about the
remember
city
watching
But you don't
the
look
first
like you're with
4
the
Final
They might
Destination
be
films and
spies,
feeling that
Gatton.
way
They might
with
be working for the Sith.
the 4th.
Calm down, Zerdra.
yeah, that makes
If the
sense.
Sith
I mean,
thought we
can't
had
believe they
anything
came back.
useful, they'd have a battalion of kids
Yeah,
kicking down
we're
our
supposed to be
door.
getting a 6th film.
No, I think this off-worlder has his own
So,
agenda.
I still to this day have
I
not seen the
suppose
5th
I
Final
could tell
Destination
you
film,
what
but I
I know.
know I've
It's not
seen
like it could do any harm
I've
to me
seen
and
the
my
first
gang,
4,
but it might
and
cause
people
problems for the
criticize,
Volkers.
oh, it's just like
That's okay
shock,
in
like
my
it's
book.
just shock
The
value.
Volkers stripped those pods clean
The,
within
the
hours
first
after they
2
left.
at the very
Too
least,
bad we didn't get
I
there
would
first,
say are
considering what my
more
Have
allies
some
watch
shocking
out
moments.
about. A female
yeah,
Republican
I'll give
Well-
it this.
Also,
At least the devs are somewhat creative, so.
Also, I'm
Makes
back.
them
Someone's
believe
like
in
a pot
intergalactic
roast in the engine trying to
The
cook it.
Volkers aren't so picky. They took a prisoner.
I know nothing about that.
I mean, it worked, but I wouldn't do that
Normally, the
again.
Volkers
Yeah,
would take a captured
so,
slave and sell them
um,
for a nice profit to
Yeah,
Doc.
I would
For
not
an off-world
exactly
slave,
recommend gutter balls
the
unless you've got the
Republic
stomach
officer
and a
is
good
no
laugh.
catch.
It's kind of
Just
why
to
they
think
gave us Bark
Basila's
bags
just
at
a
the
Republic
double
officer.
feature.
That could work to our advantage. Maybe she'll even figure out a
Which
way to
engines?
get
Hang on.
to
Which
base on her
engines
own.
do they do the pot roast in? The hover engines or the regular engines?
Brezhik's probably got your Republic friend hidden away somewhere safe until the big
Regular.
super race. You'll never find her.
Okay.
Mm.
Those could be fixed. Those are easier to fix. Is all. That
What do
that.
you think
Sorry, go
What do
ahead.
you think took me longer than 5 minutes? That being said, it took me 2 minutes to fix it and another 2 to make the sandwich.
Mm.
Their numbers will allow him to finally destroy me and my followers.
So how do you propose
You
we
could have
go
brought the
about
roast
rescuing
beef
Basil
here to make
when
a
we can't
sandwich.
fight all the gangs?
I mean,
Only
we've got
hope you have
we've
for
got
us to
utensils.
impossible is to somehow win the big
By the
season
fridge.
opener of the swoop race.
I mean, they're plastic utensils, but they're still utensils.
If you'd be
Okay.
willing to help us, we
Oh,
both have
where was I?
something to gain.
Oh yeah, so gutter balls.
Much to
Yeah,
lose.
only if you're bold enough because that stuff was bad.
The
Or if you
swoop race
got the
is
stomach for
lower
a
city
laugh.
gangs only.
Yeah.
I could sponsor
A
you
lot
as
of it was
rider
bad.
for
The
hidden
tone,
message.
the
If you win the
writing,
race, you'll win your friend's freedom.
the audio mixing too. Like wow, that was.
Oh, that okay. Now that's that's probably a first. If the audio mixing is also bad, that's probably a it's
Deal breaker?
well, not. I don't want to say a deal breaker. That's probably one of the first.
Movies they made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Getting into the Volca base won't be easy.
Brain damage, on the other hand, I thought was better.
But I know someone who might be able to get you in the back way. Mission Veil.
So yeah, brain damage was about a parasite who takes over a man.
She's
You
just
know,
a kid.
if
How is
you
she
feed
supposed
me
to help you with
brains,
this?
I
Missions
will give
explored every
you
step of every back alley in the lower
drugs.
city. Plus, she knows the undercity sewers better than
Fun.
anyone. If
Yeah, like
anyone can
basically
get
the
inside
thing
Volca
can
base,
produce
it's
a
her.
hallucinogenic, and yeah, you get to taste and
She
see
her
the
Wookiee
colors.
friend Zalbar
Oh wait, I
are
mean
always
taste and
looking
smell
to
the
stir
colors.
up a little excitement.
The colors,
I wonder
kids.
what
They
The
like
they
to go
taste
colors.
exploring in the Undercity,
Yeah.
despite the dangers. The best bet is to look for her in the Undercity.
You know what weirded me
Somebody
out?
passed the
When you
Sith
see
guard
this
post at the
parasite,
elevator.
his voice is smooth.
simple
Like I was
disguise
expecting
might
something
work on
like
the upper
raspy and
But the
nasally,
security
like
down here is much tougher. You'll
like
need the
Gremlin,
proper
like.
papers to get past it.
Yeah.
But no, he had a
Luckily, my gang
smooth ass
ambushed one of the
voice.
Sith
I was
patrols
he
headed
was
down to the other
singing,
city. They
and I
never
was so
made it,
surprised
and
by
their
his singing.
security papers fell into my hands. Since we're working together now, I suppose I.
Creature was not so bad though. Like they got the puppeteering pretty solid.
Eventually, the Sith are going
His
to
design though, I mean, for
the
the most part, it's good,
Sith
but it's so
disguises
weird.
might give my people
They
the
give
edge
it
we need in a
eyes.
crucial battle.
And there's just these
Good
little
choice.
white
Thanks for the
eyes
uniforms.
with blue dots,
You won't
and
need
I'm
them
just
with
so
these
weirded
security
out by
papers.
it. Like, why
Your
does it
time
have
would
eyes?
probably be.
Very tactful.
How?
Calm down, Sergeant.
Anyway,
I'm
when
not
I saw it,
ashamed of
I
that
saw the
time.
unrated cut
you
of the
can see,
movie,
I
which
lost
has
my
a
eyes in a
scene that's
swoop
been
racing
referred to
crash.
as the
I
infamous
rely on these artificial
fellatio scene.
replacements to see now. But my
I think
Oh.
you picture what
was not the worst
happens.
consequence of my action.
just
My
leave it
affliction is
at
what eventually led to
just
this war
just
between
leave it
my
at
bets and
fellatio
the
scene.
Vulcans.
That's enough.
When I lost my sight in the swoop bike accident, everyone assumed I would step down as leader of the hidden Becks.
Yeah.
And let
Oh,
my most
okay.
trusted
To
follower
kind of
take over.
as a bit of a palate
Popular
cleanser.
in
So
I can still see well enough to lead this gang.
you mentioned that
knew
we
Breshik
mentioned at the end
wasn't
of
going to take over.
Sonic that the next playthrough I'm
Unfortunately,
gonna do
Breshik
for the
didn't agree
channel
with me. In a
is
rage, he left to join our
Neopets.
arch-rivals,
Neopets:
the
The Darkest
Black
Fairy, and I have
A
started
lot of the
recording
younger
that.
gang members followed
Yeah.
him, and soon
I
he and
had
his
been
followers
looking
taken
up
control of the Vulca gang.
the different Neopets video games and found
Breshik is a
out
proud man.
that there is an
My decision was a
exclusive
public
Neopets
humiliation for
game
him.
for the
Maybe if I had stepped
the
down, this gang
leapfrog
might have been avoided.
Don't fool
Leapster
yourself, Gadden. Breshik wants to
digits?
control the lower city gangs.
Digits?
If you'd
Like
stepped
DIDJ?
down, he'd have led the Vex against the Vulcans. He wanted this war, one way or another.
and I'm a little upset because
Breshik won't rest until
I
am
kind of
dead.
want to get one of the consoles just so I can play this game.
Proof of his betrayal.
I found a brand
Your
new,
time would probably
never been opened, sealed copy on eBay for like $30.
Not while the Sith
Noise.
quarantine is
Get
in
it?
place.
I don't have money.
Fastest smuggler ships can't
Get
fight
money.
any
I
shipping that
one, I don't have
passes
money, and two, I don't have the
Vulcan
system it
instantly disintegrated
works
by
for.
blaster cannons fired by
Um,
the Sith fleet's automated
and I
weapons.
want to get the system it works for, but my
Feel free
biggest
to come-
problem is I don't know how best to I don't know if I would be able to record gameplay. And granted, with it being a Leapfrog product, that's a system meant for like young kids.
A baby, which you are, Glitchy.
First off, how dare you? Um. Well, and like I've enjoyed Neopets for eons. Neopets isn't something that I'd say is like a franchise for little kids.
Yeah.
I'd say closer to like the 7 to 12 crowd. around that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's kind of the tough part of me in that double feature?
Eh.
I brought a friend.
Fun. What did they think of the films?
Oh, they had a good time. It's just, I felt so bad when I brought them through. I mean, this friend I do weird stuff with, not you and me weird Glitchy, but a different kind of weird kinda. But, like, when we were watching some of the stuff in Gutterballs, like, oh, I feel so bad. I am so sorry. I did not know it was gonna get this bad. I'm sorry I put you through this because, I mean, I knew this stuff was gonna be schlock.
You know it was gonna be schlock. You just didn't expect that kind of schlock.
I didn't know how bad it was gonna get. I felt so fucking bad.
Hang on. What,
I am.
Casey, did you just leave an area only to go immediately right back into the area?
No, it just dumps you right at the beginning of fucking dumps you outside the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of looked away for for a split second, and that's what it looked like. Like you walked out of an area, and it's like, ah, shit, I forgot my keys.
Yeah.
But no, I have the armor that I'll be having for the majority of Tarasan.
Fun.
Yeah. Oh, there's one last thing I want to mention before I wrap it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
One thing I did like the local group that was hosting this, right before the movie starts, they edited in some older trailers for more shock films, including an acknowledgement to bad taste.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really give that whole authentic feel to the experience. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Should we do that sometime? Should we react to some Peter Jackson films that aren't Lord of the Rings for the channel?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do an entire 4-hour commentary on the extended cut of King Kong.
No, but seriously, I think that'd be fun to do. Maybe some King Kong or some Mortal Engines or Frighteners.
Oh, one of these days I need to. I watched like half of Mortal Engines and never finished it, and it really saddened me because I liked what I saw of Mortal Engines, just never finished it.
Oh yeah, I never saw Mortal Engines, so that'd be fun.
What I remember of it, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I need to find my copy of the extended cut of King Kong, because I'm not kidding, that actually does exist, and it is really weird to me because I think before I got that on DVD, it was the first time I've seen a movie be split amongst multiple discs. Like I play video games. I have played and owned video games that had been split across multiple discs.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've never seen that with a movie before I got a copy of King Kong extended cut.
Well, this was pretty common with VCR, but yeah, it's a little
weird
it
made sense with VCR. It was weird with DVD
because technology wasn't there yet.
Well, in DVD, DVDs can only hold so much, so I get it to some extent. I mean, I actually looked back because I have the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy extended cuts on DVD. Those do the same thing.
Yeah.
All 3 movies are split amongst like 2 discs per movie because of how long those extended cuts are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see you guys' reactions to things like Brain Dead, Dead Alive, or Bad Taste.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
I need to see.
Why is whether or not I trust you or anyone so
Was Brain Dead his first movie?
No, I think it was Bad Taste. That was his first movie.
It was one of those that I keep meaning to see.
Yeah, or Meet the Feebles, but I must warn you, Meet the Feebles is basically what would happen if early Trey Parker and Matt Stone wrote the Muppets.
Fun. So Avenue Q.
No, this is a little worse than Avenue Q.
I did want to say, going back to the Neopets tangent that I brought up. To my knowledge, there are like 5 Neopets video games over the years on actual major consoles. And the first one was Darkest Fairy on PlayStation 2. Where the hell is this hut subtitles?
It takes her fucking ever.
And it feels so weird. I'm sorry. It just doesn't.
I don't speak hut. This is not helpful to me.
But yeah, there was Neopets Darkest Fairy. There is Pet Adventure on the PSP. There's Codestone Quest on PC. Puzzle Adventure on PC, Wii, and DS. And then there's the one game for the Leapfrog.
You know her. You love her.
And
in the other corner, a rising star taking that first step into the big leagues. I give you the
oh, we're going back to gladiatorial combat. Fun. I do find it funny because I was telling Casey this last night when I was just recording footage for Neopets. I love that the villain's motivation for Darkest Fairy literally boils down to the world is too nice, I want to make it bad. Like, I'm not even kidding. The first, outside of the opening cutscene, which plays before the game actually boots up, well, it plays before you actually start a game. Outside of that, the first time you see the major villain in the game, you see her step out of the ocean and pick up sand in her hand. And it's like, the world is too nice. It's time to make it evil. And she glares directly into the camera.
She knows the truth. She knows the threat of toxic positivity.
Well, and it's like, oh.
No such thing.
Huh?
No such thing.
No, it is a thing. Toxic positivity is a thing.
It is. It's why we have Walker.
No, but seriously though, toxic positivity is not fun. I lived through it. It's awful.
But it's like she is so beautifully cartoonish. Like, I don't want to say Disney evil. Like, saying Disney evil is being too harsh to Disney evil.
I've been trying to beat her for years.
Because it's like
I can't believe how lucky
preschool story evil.
I said lucky to be.
And
You beat me fair and square.
Neopets at the very least, like, actually has shockingly deep lore. And for a franchise that has shockingly deep lore, it's kind of funny how cartoonish the villain's motivation in Darkest Fairy is.
You're one of the duelists. Hey, stranger.
It's such such a stupid plot point. But the rest of the game, like, the story for the rest of the game is all right. I mean, you start off as a farm boy who wants to be a knight and goes to fucking castle and becomes a squire. And your first duty as a squire is to catch mice in a storeroom, clean out clogs in the castle sewer, and get rid of bird nest so that the king can take a nap.
Because
I'm not even kidding. That's the actual explanation as to why you have to get rid of bird nest. Bird nest in that quest is because the king wants to take a nap and he doesn't want to be disturbed by the birds. So go take care of the birds that are creating nests around the castle courtyard.
You are handing the birds an eviction notice.
Pretty much. I'm sorry, guys. The king needs his nap. Well, and it's funny because
couldn't be me handing those birds eviction notices. I wouldn't order my guard to do that. If anything, I would straight up. I have been told by my guards that at one point I fell asleep, and when they checked on me, there were like 4 birds just just sitting on my chest.
You are the type of leader who I would imagine you wouldn't ask your guards or even like a lowly squire to take care of birds' nests. You would go out and do it yourself.
why do you care? Yeah, he isn't even supposed to be in the upper city.
Come
on, let's go.
But I actually genuinely love how well the Darkest Fairy actually does stick to the lore of the website. And granted,
Out of our way, citizen.
it would have had around 6 years of lore from the website to build off of, but there's very little of the game that they made up. That they made up specifically for just the game. Almost everything you see in the game has an equivalent on the website. Even if they change, like, designs here or there. Because the main character you play as is a loop, which is the Neopets equivalent of a wolf. And loops in Darkest Fairy are anthropomorphic, whereas on the website they walk around on all fours unless you have a special breed.
What was that?
What was
Ryan,
what?
are you calling a cat?
No.
That ain't me. Hey, you glitchy. You calling a cat?
No, I actually think the first time it was like electricity in the game sparking or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyone who's watching this who has a cat, tell your cat I said. Okay, this isn't the first time that you kill someone and loot them, and it says remains. I don't know why that only this time I read that as Romans and was confused.
Ah, yes. The Undercity. The first instance of glitching graphics.
I think we reached the end of the part.
And the first time the game's crashing.
Woo!
Yeah.
For the record, we Bion over here slowly dying from allergies. We'll get to it in a later part. An entire part of the playthrough actually got corrupted to a point that we more or less had to skip over it because of technical difficulties. I'll put like a little thing saying which one it is saying when it happens, but yeah, like this is a game that does not like to work well on modern PCs. Is all we're gonna say. With that, we will see you guys next time.
See ya.